All right, our first question comes from Everybody Loves Raymond. It says, "Hey boys, so I'm like dying, and if you don't make another episode in the next 24 hours, it's going to be your fault." Oh fuck.
What?
Oh, this is from the 22nd of March. Shit.
We might have missed that one.
Oh, that's really bad.
Did they follow up?
No.
I feel like this being our first episode in a very long while.
Yeah, in a minute.
Since at least, long before that guy died.
Right.
It was...
we had plenty of time to save that man.
We did.
We had a lot of time.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's been a little bit.
We had weeks to...
We had weeks to save him.
The clock was ticking for weeks, and we were just like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we had done this a month ago, he would be alive.
Yeah, well,
as little as that.
That's it's kind of scary to think about that. Like we're
the incredible amount of power that we have, the sway, the control we have over these people's lives.
Our presence on this podcast is a matter of life and death.
It is,
and that
some
is
people.
That is even separate from the core bit of the podcast with the apocalypse thing, where we give life-saving advice. Yeah, that. No, this guy died.
I was telling you about this earlier. There's I was looking every now and then. I will look at the Life in the World to Come tag on Tumblr, and there is a person who has been doing this project. Was like drawing Chris and Will every day until a new episode comes out. Right, and they're losing it. It is. These images have become troubling.
Yeah, like, it's gotten dark.
It's not dark, just strange, strange and abstract, just reducing us to just like scribbles and like line art. It is. It's kind of cool to look at.
Maybe we shouldn't put this out. Yeah, maybe we should just see what happens.
For this person specifically.
Well, I'm just curious to see in what ways our absence will cause these people to become unglued.
Right.
It's clear that our absence has had a significant negative impact on the well-being of their mental states. And I just kind of want to see how crazy does it get?
Anyway, happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Christ is risen. And he's feeling good today. We had to come back for the 420 Easter special.
Yeah.
To smoke weed piously.
Exactly. To what's the word? To reap the fruits of the earth.
Yeah.
And to get fucked up.
I feel like that's the vibe of this episode, is pious stoner energy.
I think that's probably I think that's a good way to go about it, because you and I are better than most people. Right. Just, morally, ethically, sexually.
Genetically?
Yeah. No, definitely with that. Yeah. No, I'm not going to take that bit any further.
Right.
Even though we did finally legalize comedy in America.
A lot has happened since we were last here, huh? A lot of stuff has gone down.
And I'm not going to lie. I don't want to talk about it.
I kind of don't either.
Hey, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You and I stopped doing the podcast for a little bit at the beginning of the pandemic. If you remember.
Yeah.
Because we were starting to say it felt too much like the end of the world to joke about the end of the world. And I want to be honest, I do not have more confidence about right now than in 2020.
It's how incredibly prescient we are, is that without even knowing that we could see the writing on the wall, we saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Whatever deeper part of our consciousness that is actually driving figured out what was going to happen way before we did. And it was like, I think it's time for a break. I think
we're rusty. I got rust in my bones, in my brains. I got rust in my whole butt.
In my holes.
Yeah.
My rusty holes.
I'm gonna throw this microphone through the window.
What else is new? What else
is new? A lot of things that a lot is new that I fucking don't want to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said,
you don't have to talk about all this new stuff. What's been going on in your life? How is your tour? Remember your tour that was several months ago?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
How was that?
That's going a ways back. Well, let's see.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm reminiscing.
Nice.
It was great.
We're going to edit in like a wave kind of visual effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was fun. It was really exciting. It was super cool. I was super honored. Honored. And really excited by the way people received the show and the way my writing worked out and all that stuff. And so, because it was a lot of people's first time seeing me or, first time seeing me in a very long time, and people didn't know what to expect, a lot of them, I think. And so basically, being able to get like 800 people into a theater and have maybe half of them be expecting a pop rock act about, cross-dressing.
Yeah, right.
Have
cross-dressing.
I don't know. I don't know what people think my shit's about. But have them, come in and basically have just like tricked them into seeing a weird like fucking overly emotional stand-up show with songs in it.
Yeah.
And it worked, and I was really happy to see that it worked. And with the exception of the House of Blues in Anaheim, California, that's what I get for trying to perform in fucking Disneyland. But it was the worst night of my life.
Wow.
Suicidal ideation inducing fucking horrors.
Oh god. Did you tell me about this?
I probably did.
You probably did.
I probably did. There was one guy in the audience who was literally just primo screaming the whole show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
It was like just a wordless low howl that was fascinating to me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, you're describing this and I can't muster any hatred in my heart towards this man.
No, I can't either.
It's like
that man was not a target of hatred from me.
You cannot hate a wolf for howling at the moon.
This was his nature.
Right. Exactly.
This
only for killing your livestock, which I'm sure he also did.
Well,
in a metaphorical sense.
Well, this is my bread and butter, baby, although also I get paid whether or not the show works out.
Yeah.
I'm going backstage, they're handing me the check. It doesn't matter whether or not I actually did a good job. That's the crazy thing about this whole fucking industry is it doesn't matter if I suck. Yeah. But the who was that who just came out of me? A fucking villain from Pinocchio.
Because it's also like not true. Like if you suck, then you can't do it again.
That's weird. Like weird cynicism there. But I think I'm just angry at Live Nation. No, I'm not. Live Nation, you're doing great, and I really appreciate the way that you're supporting your artists. Please keep the Touring Artist's Guide to Mental Health booklets in your green rooms. Thank you. They're weird. That's weird. What was I saying? No, he was not. He didn't. I didn't hate him. You cannot hate something for its nature. I hated the fucking like 20 fucking Lemon Demon kids who were just screaming at me while I was trying to talk to them.
Yeah, these fucking it's
no hate towards Lemon Demon.
Right. but it's kind of like a kind of a confluence of bad, because like not only do people think that that's what you want because of your persona from 10 years ago,
because of the costume, because of when I went on the William Patterson University College TV channel.
Look up you and that still comes up, so they're like, I guess this is what he's like. It's that, but it's also like you had the stand-up stuff, and stand-up is participatory now. It's like part of like why I have no interest in doing it anymore is because like, no, people talk and you're expected to talk back.
audiences are just more vocal these days.
Yeah.
And that's not always a problem, as long as they're, you know, not trying to, you know, take control of a moment or, you know, get attention from the rest of the crowd or anything like that. I just mean, you know, an audience, you know, that, you know, responds with ululations and vocalizations in addition to giggles and claps. I have noticed that that is more of a thing nowadays than it used to be. And that's not really a problem. The problem is, you know, when I have a line in my show where I say the phrase, I put my pants on, and some fucking drunk lady goes, take them back off. That's like, that's not cool, you know? So...
Hey, you know what the other weird thing about me being in my 30s is?
What?
Should I say? Yeah, fuck it.
Oh, God.
Just way more violent ideations. Just like, I hear about, like, you say that, and like, my first thought is somebody should kill her. It's like, somebody should like, you can shoot that woman in the head. And then immediately I'm like, no, you shouldn't. But like, first thought is just.
I started that anytime somebody interrupted to say anything that could be construed as sexually charged towards me, I would always just tell the people sitting around that person to cover their drinks. That was my go-to for that. But and that usually shuts them up because that's gross. But yeah, no, it's tough. There was one fucking show where I had to like kind of pause the show so that like a table full of kids, really, you know, could finish like screaming a meme at themselves over and over again.
Yeah.
It was like, and it wasn't the whole crowd. It was like 20 out of like 350. Dude, it was a fucking nightmare. And then I found this out from a third party while I was backstage that I was a good sport about it. I had no idea.
That makes me so... Why does that make me so mad?
I had no fucking idea. Oh, I was a good sport. Because I literally turned to the audience and I told them I will not be a good sport about this. The words came out of my mouth. I literally told them.
Well, I guess it's because you didn't like, you know, like scream and tell them to get out. I guess you turned it into a joke.
Well, I don't have another option.
But also, like, I don't know. Fucking.
I don't have another option.
Dude, have you heard the stories about people at the Minecraft movie?
No.
Just like teen, like, well, because stuff from the trailer has already become like memes and stuff. I forget what lines, like just like weird shit where like they're like like when the memes from the trailer come on, they just scream at the top of their lungs and like dump their drinks on the people in the aisle in front of them. just like weird, just like fucking, and again, it's like I hear these stories and I'm like, and no one beat them. No one struck these children. And I'm like, oh, right, that's a crime. You can't.
Let me get this straight. These children were allowed to do this unbeaten?
Like, these children were unstruck? Like, you need to strike the child. You did not
strike these children?
Which is so, like, I've never been that guy. Like, I identified as a pacifist for most of my life. And so frequently these days, I'm like, why? And you didn't strike him? Just like, I've never thrown a punch. Not once in my whole life have I ever thrown a punch.
That's so funny.
Like, and just like I hear about, I'll be like looking at YouTube shorts, and someone will just be like telling a definitely fake story about like something bad that happened, and like my first thought is I would have struck them. Just like No, you wouldn't. No. Where is this coming from?
No, I did start to like kind of have to, like, it's not like I had to talk myself off the ledge of actually punching someone, but there were one or two nights where I did, after the show, like fuming in my mind because I had just been so hurt by what had just happened. Really, it was just Anaheim. I don't want to give the impression that this was an entire tour. The tour went great. The tour went great. The audiences were great. There was one show that I will remember for the rest of my life as like fucking the rock bottom worst experience I've ever had on stage. And And I definitely did go, like, think to myself, it's a good thing I didn't punch. It's like, I'm so glad I didn't punch. I could have punched. I might have punched. If it had just been a slightly worse day, I would have punched someone. I would have punched one of these. I would have fucking just,
you know what? The thing is,
teeth flying.
For me, the fantasy, I don't know what this is, but the fantasy is always headbutts. It's like, and I think it's like this like weird calculus in my head, because it's like, well, I'm not strong.
Right.
Like, my arms are not powerful. I sit around most of the day, but I got this big ass fucking forehead. And again, like, in all these like it's like, it's never like I'm not squaring up. It's never like it's always like someone is rude to me and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Hey, can you come here for a second? Bah! Just like that's always the fantasy. Like, I'm not a hero in the fantasy. You understand?
Right.
Like, I'm I'm not a villain either. I'm just a wild animal. I'm just like a fucking rabid beast. Welcome everybody to Life in the World to Come.
I'm William.
And I'm
bother.
I'm maximum fuck.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. I feel like you've done better.
I'm trying to like rebrand myself into like a very sexually potent alpha male.
I'm into that, and I think that like I think that you can do it if you make the right moves. But I will also say that on a deeper and truer level, that is still on brand. Frankly, maximum fuck.
That is true.
That is what you would say.
I could change nothing about myself and be like and be maximum fuck in the wasteland.
I also just mean like you're like you saying I'm maximum fuck right there. It
is very like
is what you do.
Right.
That is what you would do. So to be honest, like I like the name.
Yeah.
And I like the intention behind it. I feel like you could do better.
But imagine though.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're imagining me, and then just slapping the label maximum fuck on there.
Right.
That's nothing. That's not right.
Okay.
But then imagine me in like a gimp mask with like with those like leather overalls with like the rings that are just over my nipples.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, and I have like a glaive in one hand.
And you gotta remind me what a glaive is.
It's like a sword, kind of. Like,
okay.
It's like a weird sword thing.
It's like a spear with a sword at the tip.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
I kind of forget if I'm being totally honest.
Oh fuck! The fucked up thing is you've taught me what a glaive is before.
I think I just kind of forget exactly what it is. But the point is, I have some crazy weapon, and I'm like covered in like leather.
Sure.
And I'm in the middle of a desert. And I'm driving a monster truck that has no seat. You have to like stand in order to like drive it. And there's like 40 guys behind me who are also in monster truck, shirtless, leather. And then, but that guy's name is Maximum Fuck. Okay. Imagine that.
Well, how big is it?
Wait, the truck or my truck? You know what I mean?
Truck.
I mean, both enormous.
Okay.
Right. The monster truck is very huge, and I've also replaced my penis with the penis of a larger, more virile man.
Male? Human? Human male?
Well, we'll see. Whatever's got the biggest one.
They got bigger ones out there.
Well, it's a mix. It's what I can find.
I feel like this sucks. That's what I feel like.
Well,
I feel like this sucks.
I'm going to adjust the image.
Okay.
Instead of a monster truck, I'm striding. I've got one foot on two war elephants.
Oh.
But they're eunuch war elephants. And I've replaced one of their penises with mine. And in fact, a third smaller elephant has to walk between the two to support my elephant penis.
Here's another thought.
Right.
They're both eunuch elephants.
Okay.
And you have acquired both of their penises as your own.
I have two elephant penises.
Yeah. That feels like the maximum amount of
the
fun.
most powerful and terrifying lover that anyone has ever.
I mean, if you're gonna be maximum fuck,
I am the maximum.
You do have to present the maximum amount of fuck.
Right, yeah. Which is honestly way too much for most people.
I would assume so.
I could theoretically fuck elephants, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
For self-evident reasons.
Yeah.
Also, I just kind of sewed it on, so it doesn't really work.
It's
just kind of sewed on.
It's shriveling, turning black, and
Right?
stinking in the hot sun.
It's fully necrotized.
You are dying.
It's fully necrotized, and the infection is spreading through the stitches onto my penis, which is still underneath the elephant penis,
So,
kind of sheathed beneath within the elephant.
the infection is spreading to you slowly and painfully
Right.
through the stitching and your urethra.
Right. Well, I'm used to it at this point. That's the nice thing about slow pain is that you can just kind of like if it's it kind of extends for a long enough period of time, you can just kind of it becomes part of your world and you can ignore it.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe you should try. This is my new program for young men.
God, I'm so glad that they legalized comedy.
It's legal now.
I love that clip. I love that clip of him going, legalize comedy. Yeah. But I love the moment after he says legalize comedy, and then there's a little bit of silence before he then goes, yeah, which was his fucking Muppet ass way of saying waka waka, as in laugh, you peasants. It was so fucking sad just to see this man so clearly, just like you can see it in the sinews of his fucking plastic ass face, just bubbling under the surface of that fucking mask. Just, oh God, I'm bombing. I better tell them that I'm saying something good. Yeah.
This is my thing. This is my thing, and this is not a new point. People have made this point before. But like, what if you're the richest man on planet Earth? What the fuck is the point of doing anything? Why would you? Why do I know your name? B, why do you want me to know your name? You don't need. You won. You won years ago. Years ago, you won. You don't have. You could go to the beach. Go to the beach. We've seen you shirtless. You need to go to the beach, Elon. Go to the beach. And just don't do anything for the rest of your life. Or actually, no. Better yet, do whatever the fuck you want for the rest of your life, because you have how much money does he have?
That's the problem. Is that when you know somebody like that, when they do whatever the fuck they want, it's bad things, because the only way to get that rich in the first place is to be heartless.
Oh, whoa. It's a beautiful fidget spinner.
Thank you. It's gold.
It is gold.
Yeah.
Is that real gold?
Of course it's real gold. Of course it's gold.
Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be to have a gold-plated fidget spinner?
Yeah, don't disrespect me with that. We got a lot of dust to blow off each other.
That's what
and a lot of rust to scrape off ourselves. We got to scrape ourselves up and blow each other off.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Last part.
This scraping.
Start over.
Yeah. Hold on a second. All right. Okay,
all right. I'm sorry I said that. I would never suck your dick.
That's okay.
I would never suck your dick.
I know. It's okay.
Sometimes I worry that you think I would. I want you to.
I believe you.
I need you to know.
I trust
would never
you.
do that. All right, hold on a second.
I feel like here's the problem.
Right.
Is that it's been so long. And over these months, I feel like I've changed a lot as a person.
Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah, I think you and I have both been through a lot. We've both changed and grown and have changed our life plans and trajectories in some ways too, I think.
Yeah.
Our priorities have shifted. We don't really know who we are as co-hosts yet. Yeah. This is a rebirth.
Maybe we do suck each other's dicks.
Oh shit!
Just to see maybe that's the new dynamic. Maybe we're gay lovers now.
Maybe that's maybe it's time to just give the people what they want.
They've been making the fan art about it this whole time.
They haven't, right? They haven't, right?
Not.
Don't tell me they have.
We're not fucking in this fan art.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's okay.
But there is some of the fan art where it's like a little bit where we're definitely we're touching each other in ways that we tend not to.
No, we're not very touchy usually.
No, not usually.
I'm a bit of a hugger, but
we'll hug.
Yeah.
we'll hug,
right?
And I'll feel your dick just to make sure it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll just give it a good, kind of like a good grab.
He knows I
like,
worry about it a lot.
Well, just to make sure it's healthy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I haven't seen. I'll hug you. I'll grab you by the balls and I'll say cough.
But otherwise, you know, we are about as far from the fucking chibi guys that I've seen us drawn as imaginable. We're little chibi nugget boys. I have seen us depicted as the fucking worst little guys.
I know what you're talking about.
We just and we got our little blushing cheeks that we're squishing together.
I'm not going to say what it was, but you did send me a piece of fan art at one point, and we're like, I think we shouldn't keep doing the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe we shouldn't make more episodes, actually.
We should not...
I'm not going to say what it was, so no one's insecure.
Right.
Like,
no, just so everyone's insecure.
So everyone...
It could be any one of you. And it's you know, so it could be taken as a warning.
Right.
Against any would-be passionate artists.
Right.
You know?
Do not depict me.
Don't you dare find our presence in your life meaningful enough to bring you inspiration.
How dare you?
Don't you fucking dare.
I should be the Prophet Muhammad in your eyes.
That I agree.
It should be a great sin to depict me in any form.
You should not be allowed to depict Chris, and if you're going to depict me, I want to be like Jesus. I get abs. There is no Chris.
It's just
Life in the World to Come fan art should just be me with abs, is what I'm saying.
It's you with abs, and then way back in the distance, there's a snake coming down from the tree of knowledge that has like a little beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get down with that. The thing is, people are going to draw that now.
Fuck.
I don't actually want this. We need to. The point is, we need to figure out who we are. We
gotta come up with our new identity.
We have to. Yes, exactly. Right. Rediscover our podcasting identity.
And we're not going to be just so that I'm on the same page as you. We're not going to be corrupting young men. That's not part of it.
Oh,
we're not going to we're not going to take fourth graders and make them very sexist. That's not part of the plan.
I mean, comedy is legal now.
That's true. That's true.
But
unfortunately, human trafficking still isn't.
Oh, damn!
It might be. This new administration.
Oh boy!
Well, they human trafficked. How funny was it? Was it? We don't have to.
I feel like I've crossed so many lines today that I'm getting wary now.
Yeah. No.
For those of you who haven't heard the Young Charismatic edition, it got bad. Actually, I don't know if it got bad.
Nah,
it was probably fine.
It's always been fine.
I threatened violence against. The point is that I want to cut this out now too. I feel like a mess. I have no idea what's wrong with me. They shouldn't have legalized comedy. I'm out of control.
Right, exactly. We're just like, they legalized comedy, and we're both immediately like on a cocaine binge.
That's the problem.
Like our whole faces are covered in white powder. We're just like,
we are the reason why, you know, we are good examples of why you know, the why banning something is important.
Right.
You know, there was like a whole debate in my hometown over whether or not we should build a dispensary there, because there was a business that was going to build a dispensary there, and there was a whole petition being signed, a Facebook group. People were mad about it. People were throwing up fucking fits and all that stuff. And you know, eventually the dispensary lost, and so did us all. But
pour one out.
Yeah,
pour real one.
Rest in peace. Happy 420. Happy Easter. But a lot of people were saying, like, listen, if you put this in the town, people are gonna smoke so much more weed. You know, addicts, you put it near them, they're never gonna be able to control themselves. And it's not true about weed. It is true about comedy.
It is true about comedy.
It's very true about comedy.
Because
it's a dangerous drug.
It's so much more pure a drug.
Yeah.
You know?
I have mainline comedy right into my fucking eyeballs.
Just do like the hard shit.
If I don't
it's like a fucking needle full of comedy straight into the tip of my penis.
If I don't get an insensitive giggle every half hour to an hour, I start getting kind of antsy.
My neck.
Yeah.
It's trying to start scraping off my own skin.
I'm tired.
You want to do some questions?
I think that we probably need to.
I think it's about time for questions.
We've been recording for nearly an hour.
Almost an hour.
And I don't know if this is just going to be a minefield for you to edit or a minefield for me to figure out my public apology for later on.
No, there's no. I can cut around. I can make this good.
Anyway, plus comedy's legal now.
It's
so
legal. It's fully legal.
Right, yeah.
That's the thing is they can't put us in jail for it. We're not going to go to jail about this. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Kristen. Well, I'm planning on getting laser hair removal because of how irritating hair is to me. Is this going to benefit me in the world to come, or will my hair have its revenge on me? So the very interesting part of this question to me is because of how irritating the hair is.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, which is an interesting kind of angle. Because, I don't know. Have you ever considered becoming smooth? Maybe it's less about getting rid of the hair and more about becoming smooth.
Well, yeah, because I think the assumption that this person is operating under is that the thing that is stopping them from being smooth and silken is their hair.
Well, you know,
and that's not necessarily the case.
Well, I'll think about it. This is because here's my thing. This is kind of why I'm on their side about this.
Wait, are you saying remove the hair or don't remove the hair?
I'm saying remove the hair.
Okay.
I'm saying remove the hair because, like, imagine you're greasing yourself up. And like Vaseline or like olive oil or like whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
What happens when you get to your hair?
You slick it back.
But then you got your hair's all greasy. It's fucking slick with gasoline or like or Vaseline or like olive oil.
Okay, but also like, at the same time,
yeah,
you're not taking for granted the gift that you've been given.
Right.
That is a full head of hair.
That's true.
You know?
But like what if I want to squeeze into like a really small hole? You know?
Well, I don't think that the hair. Well, you got a lot of hair.
That's
you got
true.
a big head of hair.
There's a
and
lot
you got a big beard too.
You
know? But I'm a man with a tallaning forehead.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
It's
and I'm sensitive to this.
Okay. I'm just very compelled with the idea of becoming smooth.
No, I think that we're onto something there.
Okay.
We need to discuss becoming smooth.
Right.
Because honestly, when you think about that, why stop at just shaving the hair off your head?
Okay.
Why stop at that?
Right.
Your skin isn't the smoothest part of your body.
That's true.
That's not going to be the slickest and slimiest part of your body.
That's true. God, if I didn't have skin, I wouldn't even need the Vaseline.
You'd be slurping and slopping all over the place. It wouldn't matter.
I think, and you know what's also getting in the way is like bones and stuff.
That's true.
How am I supposed to slither into a hole with all these bones?
I was going to say.
If I didn't have skin or bones and was just goo.
You could slide under doorways and stuff.
The smoothest I could ever possibly be.
Ultimately, I feel like strategically it's a huge advantage.
I was just like a kind of a loose bag of organs and muscles.
I feel like honestly, hair, skin, and bones. All tactical.
Extraneous.
Yeah.
Kind of like in many ways material distractions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Keeping you away from like the purest parts of life. Which is to be smooth.
You're a fucked up thing.
Being smooth is self-evidently good. It's not something you have to justify. It's just
a fucked up thing is that this guy just asked whether or not hair would be advantageous, right. And we just were like, you want to be smooth.
You gotta be smooth, so no. So it's not.
Instead of discussing in what ways hair could be used or could be an obstacle,
right.
We went straight to take your skin off and eat your own bones.
Well, I
or
think
whatever.
because what they were saying is that they're getting laser hair removal because they don't like the way that their hair feels.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is that they're not going far enough.
Right. Yes.
You know?
Yes, exactly.
Any surface. You must destroy all of your surfaces.
Yeah, just keep the laser going. Mm-hmm. And when they're done getting rid of the hair, just start peeling the skin.
You become beyond shape. A creature of pure form. I think that there hasn't been nearly enough weed stuff in this.
You're right. There hasn't been much weed stuff.
There's I've been spending a lot of time in Vermont. There's a dispensary up there that I go to a lot.
Yeah.
And every now and then, not every time, but every now and then, when I'm done buying weed from them, the woman behind the counter will kind of like make little finger guns at me and go, "Stay stoned." You should be allowed to say that, I don't think. Imagine if I was like at a liquor store. Like I bought like a 40 and the guy was like, "Stay wasted." That would be wrong.
That'd be fucked up.
It would be bad of him to do. It's like because it's one thing to be like enjoy getting stoned. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Stay stoned. Do not stop being stoned.
Yeah. No. It's a little weird. It's honestly kind of fucking sad.
It is.
I feel bad for that woman because what she's implying by saying that is that being stoned is just better than not being stoned.
Like stay regular. Just like
if you stay stoned, you're not really stoned anymore. You're just kind of bad.
Yeah, you're on medication, I guess. Like you're kind of like you're kind of self-medicating.
I can tell for sure.
ADD.
Like, when I used to like smoke like all day every day, like when I was like a teenager, it was like I started thinking I had personality traits I did not have. You know, like because you do it for long enough and you start going like, man, I don't know what's up with me. I'm so fucking weird in my head sometimes, and like, man. When did I get so bad at reading?
Yeah, just like they just start having fantasies about headbutting old people. I'm like, this is normal. I bet this is.
Yeah, you know, that's the reefer madness talking to you right there.
That's what that is.
Do you wanna try doing another question?
I kind of actually love this question.
Okay.
I don't know how much meat we're gonna get out of it, but I do love it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
You said that, and I went, ugh.
yeah.
I had to like kind of force the go. Oh, okay, you like it.
Yeah. Usually, when I love a question, it's like strange and abstract and like not like straightforward.
Yeah. When you love a question, usually it's because of something that makes me suffer.
Well, it's usually like it's incredibly broad, I think, in a way that gives us a lot of leeway.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Dear men, how to murder in the world to come? It's so broad.
Yeah, that is really broad.
And you know why it's a hard question to answer, I think?
Why?
Because the answer is however the fuck you want. It's like it's Merry Christmas, baby.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy 420.
Happy 420.
Murder however you want.
Do whatever you fucking head bust.
You can rocks.
That's not bad. It's pretty straight. It's simple, but that's what I like it.
2 rocks either side of the head. Clap. Dead.
That's pretty good. Another thing with an even bigger rock you can do is you create a road, like some kind of path that leads directly to a rock, and then you paint a big tunnel upon that rock.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Then you run towards that rock as fast as you can.
You chase your victim down the road, right? You get behind your victim, you chase them with like a big knife. That's the thing, if you don't think you can actually catch the victim with a big knife.
Right.
You just have to do the planning ahead of time.
I thought you were saying that you would lure your victim and then dodge out of the way at the last second and have them smack into the wall. Really, it works either way.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you can paint a big roadway illusion onto a wall somewhere, in the world to come, you should do 1 or 2.
Right. You should do a couple. Just like even if there's no one, even if you're not being chased or chasing anyone, just as like kind of dead drops kind of throughout the wasteland. Just so that you're always ready.
Well, because the thing is, like, even if you're not like in the middle of an emergency situation wherein you need to be able to use one of those traps, good news, scavenging is part of just survival in the world to come.
That's true.
And you start walking around, exploring you check the inventory now and again of your various road illusion walls.
Yeah,
you'll see a lot of dead coyotes.
That's true.
You know, and you can gobble them up,
like dead birds and stuff.
Dead birds, dead coyotes.
Now you can't. You never want. Here's the thing: is that like you don't want to like discount the possibility of you chasing your victim up into the up to the painting of a tunnel, and then they just run through the painting as if it's like a real tunnel.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
That can happen sometimes.
Yeah, and then you end up getting smushed.
But then you try to chase him, and then you get smushed.
Right.
And then a second bigger coyote comes and eats you.
Yeah, never
very quickly before the even larger coyote eats it.
Right, and that's that's where you have to watch out. Never forget where your own road traps are.
Right.
You know, never let something that can travel between second and third dimensional planes trick you into forgetting your own road things.
Right. You have to, whenever you're chasing a bird, you have to consider whether or not the bird is actually a bird or like some kind of like cosmic trickster deity.
Yeah.
To which the laws of physics do not apply.
And a lot of birds won't be things that you can trust in the world to come. I mean, you can already barely trust birds.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly the most trustworthy people.
Yeah.
And so, like, in the world to come, everybody's hungry. They're all trying to eat. Everybody's got to get by. We're all running from something or running towards something. And birds, they can fly.
And the Acme Corporation has never been doing better.
Yeah.
They're making dividends.
Good for them.
You know?
Everyone
selling anvils, catapults, trebuchets,
dynamite.
Like that's what I feel
bulk
like. That's
TNT.
Exactly. They sell like mining equivalent and like siege gear. It's like what Acme does.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris.
Yeah.
My chest hurts. I'm having serious heart palpitations. I have a bounding pulse in my throat. I think I might pass out and die. And the reason why is because I have so much fucking energy drink in me right now. And I do not usually drink energy drinks. And I also just quit nicotine again for
like 12 hours ago.
12 hours ago, I quit it again. I feel fucked up.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I feel scared of my body.
When we were at the convenience store and getting energy drinks, you pointed at the NOS, which is what you just drank, and you were like, "This shit fucks you up," is what you said. You pointed and you said, "This shit is crazy." And then you bought it, and I didn't even think anything of it.
I don't drink this stuff anymore. I quit.
It's generally not pretty good.
Yeah, no, because it scares the shit out of me. But here I am feeling like I remember when we had fucking Alpha Brain.
Right.
We had Alpha Brain on the podcast. I feel like that.
Brain.
I feel a little bit like that.
It's probably exactly the same stuff.
It's probably the same stuff.
It is probably the exact same
Chris, I drank so much of it. There's like an ache running down my left arm. I feel like I'm going to just tell myself it's the cubital tunnel syndrome that I got from passing out on my arm when I was like 19. But also like I can see the veins in the palms of my hand, which is not something I used to be able to see. I think maybe it's part of getting older. Maybe it's, oh my God, I'm shaking so much. These are cat scratches. Don't worry about that.
I figured that's what
I got a lot of cats.
I've seen the posts.
So, oh my God.
Snooter friends, get a cat.
Yeah, please, somebody take these fucking cats. I got too many fucking cats, dude.
A room full of cats. I'm not allowed to go in.
Literally an entire room of the house is just for cats.
There's a single closed door that I know mustn't be opened.
No. That's serial killer behavior.
It is weird.
Don't go in that room.
That there is a forbidden room in your house.
There's a forbidden room in my house. And
why can't I go in there? Because you'll let them out.
Oh, God. Or worse, you'll be tempted to feed them.
They're not ready to come out yet. Why? They still have their balls.
No, they actually don't.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we just got that done.
You cut off all their nards and stuff.
Actually, we were under the impression that they all needed to be spayed. We were perfectly certain that they were all female. And it turned out after we took them to the vet to get it all done, they gave them back and they were like, by the way, one of those was a guy.
Oh.
And none of these female cats were pregnant.
Oh.
You could hear the cats throughout the house. They were clearly in heat, begging to be fucked by this one guy.
Fucking pussy.
This was the gayest cat who ever lived.
Oh, when you put it like that, he's actually heroic.
This is either...
I was relating to him too much. I was like, look at this sad beta male surrounded by... recontextualizing him as a gay man actually makes him awesome. Like, that rules.
Yeah. The thing is, I've posted videos of this same cat. This is the cat that was, like, just huge for whatever reason.
Right.
Turned out it was because he was the only male.
Right.
Duh.
Because of testosterone.
Right. And would jump up. We got him into the hotel room when we were first picking them up. To those of you who don't know, my girlfriend and I picked up a whole bunch of cats at an abandoned construction site outside a hotel room. We took a lot of the cats, we brought them into the hotel room, and one of these cats, we called him Houdini because he kept escaping, and he jumped up on the mirror in the bathroom, and he was like a billion feet into the air, and he was very nimble and very powerful and chaotic.
Yeah.
And, what was my point? Oh, yeah, this was... People are familiar with this cat. They've seen this cat. I think it's really important that you all know, hey, he's also a gay icon. All right? Yeah. Please take my cats!
Please take my gay cat.
Whatever it takes. If I can rainbow capitalism my way out of these cats, I'll take it.
I'll fucking say whatever I need to say in order to get rid of this gay cat.
Oh my God. It is crazy to think that that all of these cats were in this room with this one tomcat for like a few months.
Yeah.
And he didn't fuck any of them.
Right.
None of them.
That is, yeah.
They all went into heat shortly before being spayed. No pregnancies.
I guess
this is a gay cat.
He must be a gay cat.
Yeah.
Or weak swimmers.
I guess that's possible.
Could have been. You don't know. You don't know what happens in that dark room.
But if you've ever,
in that strange, smelly, lightless room.
But if you've ever spent some time,
it might be a nice room. I don't know.
If you've
I've not been allowed in.
It's smelly. It smells like there's 8 cats in there.
Okay.
It smells like there's a bunch of fucking cats in there.
I don't want people to start worrying about these cats.
Well, I mean, they it smells like fucking they're eating their cat food and they're pooping in a litter box.
Right. Okay.
They're taken care of. They're well fed, but the room smells like a million cats.
Yeah. Okay.
But the what was I saying? God damn it! This is important.
Gay cat. Getting rid of the gay cat.
Gotta get rid of the gay cat.
Gotta get rainbow capitalism.
Gotta get rid of that fucking. Gotta get rid of the gay cat. Gotta get rid of the straight cats too. Or maybe they're gay. Maybe the lady cats are gay too. I don't know.
No, I'll keep the straight cats.
What was it? If you've ever spent some time around like an area where there's a colony of feral cats, you know when they're fucking.
Yeah, they make it known.
You will hear it from like the 4th floor of the building,
right? Yeah,
from like a half a mile away.
Well, it's weirdly. Based on sound alone, it's really hard to tell whether or not they're fucking or ripping each other to shreds.
Well,
in the most like disgusting display of violence that anyone has ever. Like 2 cats murdering each other and fucking sounds exactly the same.
It does sound very similar.
Yeah.
It does sound very similar, but there is a difference. And these cats have done neither. They have been perfectly silent this whole time.
Yeah, it's scary.
That is scary.
It is weird to know that there's a room full of cats. It does like add to the serial killerness of it.
Yeah.
It's because it's like this room is full of cats. Trust me. It's a silent room.
Look, I mean, they still meow for their food and stuff. They're normal cats.
I've peeked inside the room,
but
there's just cats in there.
But look, I think. Just someone take my gay cat.
Just please
someone take these cats. Someone please take these cats. Adoption forms are available now. I can't tell you what the link is or anything for all the information, but like there's an Instagram account called Snooter Friends, and they got all the cats. We got so many cats, and adoptions are open to any adult who's up for it. Obviously, it's a stringent process. Stringent, is that the word? Strict, whatever.
I think we need to. Maybe that's kind of the. Oh, this is the day that the Lord rose.
It's Easter,
Yeah. So I think maybe in this kind of new era of the podcast, where we're just kind of doing episodes whenever we feel like it, is we've kind of lost discipline in terms of like doing it regularly. Yeah. Which means we have to gain discipline in our devotion to the Lord.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like we need to we need to like have piety be a larger kind of part of this whole experience.
I think that's a good idea.
As men of God.
So let us pray.
Let's pray.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day, our daily bread, and for the bread of tomorrow. And may your gift of bread be happy Passover,
sweet,
O Lord, O God.
Sweet and merciful bread, God. Thanks.
beautiful, handsome god.
Beautiful, handsome god of bread.
Sexy little bread god
Sexy
boy.
little bread boy, bread god.
May please give unto us your bread.
Give us your bread.
And may the fruit of thy bread.
Let us eat your son. Let us eat it. Let us eat your son. Your son is made of bread, like you said he was. So let us eat him.
Dear Lord, we are hungry. We are hungry for your boy.
We're hungry for the boy.
Give us the boy, God. Give us
your boy. Return your boy unto us, so we may eat of his flesh and get fucking wasted on his blood.
Give us the fruit of his mother's womb.
Give us the fruit of your boy.
Give us that fruity
that
boy.
Sweet boy fruit.
Dear God.
Just in case anyone's... We are talking about communion wafers. Is what we're talking about.
Get us drunk on your fruity little bread boy. Dear Lord. Dear.
All right.
Amen.
All right, so now we got to do like 20 more minutes. We gotta do like 20 more minutes. We're at like 96 minutes.
Hey, when is Passover this year?
I don't fucking know.
You know, because
no idea.
You know, why doesn't it say this on my calendar even? What the fuck? What kind of anti-Semitic fucking calendar is this? You know what?
Yeah.
Today's Passover.
In our hearts.
Passover, that fucking blunt.
Oh,
dude.
Fuck. Oh, shit. That's so fucking good.
Thanks, man.
And I wish I had a blunt.
Yeah, I wish you did too, because that'd be cool.
This isn't funny.
No.
But, no, it's all right. No, what I was about to say isn't funny.
Oh, it already wasn't.
This is what, but like, you can go to just show up at any dispensary now and pay $10 for a blunt.
Really?
I think that rules.
That does rule.
I think that like in the same way that you could just go to a fucking liquor store and get like a 40.
Right.
You can just go and grab a $10 pre-roll. And I love that. There's nothing funny to say. I've just been thinking about how much that rules.
That does rule. No, I think that's really cool. And I think it's progress.
It is.
Yeah. There's no denying it. It just sucks that like all of the other things we need to make progress in, we are ricocheting violently away from.
Well, it is nice that like now, as like a legalize it guy, we don't have to distract everybody.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have to like our problem has been solved, so we no longer have to disrupt the conversation.
That's true.
Like we were constantly doing.
Yeah, that's true. And you you legalize weed, but that's the problem though, is that they're not wrong about it being kind of a gateway drug. You legalize weed. What's next? Comedy. Now they legalize comedy, and it's not. That's
next,
not safe.
Black tar heroin.
Yeah,
it's the next step.
Murder. But what are you gonna do? The world is gonna end.
It is.
It's happening. We're well on our way. There. And Elon Musk being involved is already a life in the world to come bit from a few years ago.
God. Oh, the Switch 2 is going to be so fucking expensive.
The what?
The Switch 2. It's going to be so fucking expensive because of all this.
Well,
they've already indefinitely delayed pre-orders.
Huh.
So if you pre-ordered a Switch 2 already, who knows when you'll get it? Maybe never.
I guess because they have to...
Because of all the tariffs. It's because of the tariff stuff. And, like, stuff connected to the tariff stuff.
Well,
just making them.
Luckily, there are states that are reducing child labor laws in such a way that allow business owners in the U.S. to pay children less than the minimum wage to do the work. So the Switch will come out eventually.
That's true. We can make our own Switch 2.
Yeah.
And our own Mario Kart World for $80.
And our own... suicidal ideation inducing sweatshops. So we're good.
And our own suicide nets.
And
our own nets hanging off the top of our building.
Exactly.
Which is a smart solution. It's how fucking Victorian is that? Of just like, oh, they're killing themselves? Put up nets. Just like They're hurling themselves from the parapets. Well, stop them.
Oh God.
Jesus.
Yeah, the world's ending, but in a funny way, though. Actually, in a funny way with
Blew
jokes.
past that, but do you know how much they're gonna charge for the new Mario Kart game for the Switch 2?
No, how much?
$80.
Oh wow.
$80.
Honestly, I'm not
furious.
like.
Before you say a single word, I'm fucking livid about it.
To be fair, I'm not going to buy it. I have no
true.
interest in it, and so
It looks pretty good, actually.
I have no stake in the game.
It's like open world.
Oh,
It's like an open world racing game.
that's kind of neat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I have no horse in the race, so I'm not particularly like personally affected by it. So it doesn't create anger in me. And my first thought is like, well, video games were $60 since like 1999. It's crazy that it's taken this long for them to be 80 instead.
Well, they were 50, and then they were 60 for a long time, and then they were 70 as a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And now they're bumping them up to 80, and that's too much.
Well,
I recently bought the new WWE game for $70, and I hate myself.
well, that you should.
Yeah, that was the bad. It was a
No,
bad
that
buy.
was. But
I
you know,
like those games, but it was a terrible buy.
maybe video game designers will have to start putting a little bit more effort into making their games worth $80.
No, they won't.
They might have to. The market may decide. The market may demand.
When was the last time that worked? It's like they've been telling us that happens for years, and it never does. Stuff that just gets worse and more expensive. And that's the thing, is that in order for there has to be competition, and there's no competition. And I don't know.
I'm just saying that if The Last of Us 2 had been $80, you know?
I don't know if I do.
I stumbled over the delivery, and the joke was going to be, I'm a guy who's like mad about The Last of Us 2 still.
Oh right, yeah.
You know,
and
and
it would have been good if it was $80.
Yeah, like or that like
Worth
you know they would have recognized the stakes.
Right.
You know, because Neil Druckmann doesn't care about gamers and the things they love. He only cares about money. I don't know, man. I don't know. It was bad, and so fucking past the point of irrelevance that I was just. Take it away, Chris.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking you.
What has it
to
been,
comment on
102
that,
minutes? Is that 2 hours? That's basically 2 hours.
It's not 2 hours, but
It's pretty close to 2 hours.
Do you want to do one more question?
Let's do one more question.
It almost feels weird to do one more question because I don't know how many questions we've done, and when we've
like
started the
3.
question, we've gone off route so quickly and off on so many tangents that I don't feel like we ever answered any of them.
We got to get the demons out. That's what this episode
you're right.
is just getting the demons out.
This is like, you know, what I'm trying to. This sounds crazy because I can't actually find a metaphor in reality. Right. But this is, you take the tube and you squeeze the dirt out before you get the good stuff through the tube. What does that mean?
That's an excellent. I don't know.
It's an incredibly raw metaphor.
What is the good stuff?
I don't know. It is an incomplete metaphor that exists between the origin point and the thing intended to be compared to. It's just kind of abstract.
The strange thing is, I do know what you mean by it. It's
you're
an
not
effective metaphor, but of just relating to something that has never existed.
You suck the dirt out the end of the hose before you water the garden. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Is that...
Maybe.
I feel like that's something dads did in the 80s, in the 90s. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think it was, but like the other thing you said.
Fuck.
Like it just kind of felt like I knew.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you leave like a tube of toothpaste out without the cap on for way too long, and it gets like that kind of crust right at the top. But then, in what world are you still using that toothpaste though? You know,
no, I
guess you might use it.
I pull the crust off.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
But if there's no cap for like weeks.
Maybe
toothpaste?
It depends. Depends how desperate I am.
We all understand the metaphor.
Yeah,
we all get it.
yeah. The initial metaphor was half baked,
right,
and kind of slippery. But yeah, no, we got the dirt out the tube, and now we're gonna get the good stuff through.
All right, let's do one last question, and then we'll go see if Christ has risen. We'll go look at that cave and then see if the boulder has been moved.
To see if the bread has risen.
Right. If there's bread in that cave.
Happy Yeaster.
Nice, dude.
Thanks.
It's pretty good. I'm trying to find like a really fucking good one.
Good luck with that.
You usually aren't any.
These little monsters. And don't take that as like a cheeky little term of endearment, a la Lady Gaga. No, I mean it.
Little monsters as an insult.
Not even
as in I find them monstrous.
Yeah, to be honest, insult doesn't cover it. This is a condemnation of their spirits.
Right, exactly.
I believe that they are monstrous
this is
individuals. Yeah.
They deserve to be hunted.
Something needs to be done about these people.
Will is putting on a tricordered hat and is slinging a crossbow across his back as he's saying all of this. I don't know if this is it, but this question is what is going to happen to the McDonald's in the Pentagon in the world to come? And this is me finding out that there's a McDonald's in the Pentagon.
I don't trust it.
Yeah, you don't trust it?
I don't trust that there's a McDonald's in the Pentagon.
You don't think there's really a McDonald's in the Pentagon?
I feel like I've heard that there's a McDonald's in the Pentagon before.
Siri, is there a McDonald's in the Pentagon?
Don't Google the Pentagon!
Hold on. I'm curious now. McDonald's Pentagon.
God.
Oh yeah, no, it's real. They've got a Pentagon.
You know the Pentagon has Google reviews.
That's for what? Based on what?
It's got a lot of mixed reviews.
I can imagine it would.
Yeah.
I feel like they do some pretty polarizing stuff there.
Yeah. No, the Pentagon has a wide range of reviews on Google, but you can review the Pentagon on Google, which I would never do.
I might give them 1 stars and just say bad cheeseburgers or something.
A lot of people do that.
Hamburgers are no good.
When it comes to the McDonald's and the Pentagon, what's going to happen to it?
What is going to happen to it?
The same thing that happens to every other McDonald's. Haunted.
Grimace is he's coming back.
Grimace is low hanging fruit, man.
It's true.
I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Because Grimace he's too obvious.
He's already a big purple monster guy.
He's already a big purple monster. We don't need. He's kind of a hat on a hat.
Yeah, I feel like we want to.
What about that bird? Remember the bird with the aviator?
The bird with the aviator.
He's like a weird Amelia Earhart bird that was also one of the characters.
I gotta look into this bird.
There was a couple of fucking. Ronald McDonald had a whole crew. Yeah, her.
This fucking. Yeah.
with the pigtails.
Yeah, no, I hate her.
Goggles.
Oh, she's awful.
What's her deal? Why is she here?
She's the early bird.
I mean, okay, that makes sense. That actually.
She sells the breakfast.
Because I was about to be like, what the fuck does she? But then Grimace. Like what's his thing?
So
why is he part of it?
It seems their crew is mostly purple nugget monster creature, clown, bird. Criminal.
Well, a guy who kind of self-identifies as a criminal, at least.
Yeah,
but he is just kind of stealing burgers. Well, no, I guess that's still a crime. It's not. I don't know if you're gonna go to. I don't know if they're gonna he's not going to jail for a long time. Maybe that's why he's such a problem. Because he breaks into a McDonald's and steals a hamburger, and then that's 2 weeks in jail.
The Hamburglar is clear proof.
He gets 10 days in county prison. Then they just let him out again.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. It's the Hamburglar is proof that we need tougher on crime sentencing. Otherwise, it doesn't work as a sufficient deterrent to prevent recidivism.
They can't stop this guy.
They literally cannot stop the Hamburglar. If your crimes are petty enough, they can't stop you.
He's still in his jail uniform.
He doesn't even bother.
He just got out.
He doesn't bother taking it off.
He doesn't bother taking it off.
He knows he's going right back in.
He's just gonna.
He's even got a hat to match it.
He bought a hat.
That hat doesn't come with it. They don't give you a hat in jail.
Hat for the.
He doesn't give a shit. Look, he's got a fucking tie with hamburgers on it. This is flagrant criminality, and it flies in the face of the system that we have worked so hard as a civilization to build and maintain. This is terrifying.
People like this are just allowed to roam the streets.
I fucking hate him.
Because he's stealing my hamburgers.
And I don't like the bird either. But frankly, it's for reasons I can't identify.
No, you just kind of just...
I just think she kind of sucks to look at.
She's
just uncomfortable to look at. She was unpleasant.
There's something there.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. There's kind of an intriguing shape to her. kind of shape and form that I'm that gives the mind reels.
I feel like that was the only way we could go with that, right?
Yeah, you have to kind of imagine fucking the bird.
Yeah, I feel like that. Welcome to Life in the World to Come. We're going to talk about McDonald's mascots. We obviously are going to fuck the bird.
She has human hair.
That's true.
She has the hair of a human woman and eyelashes. I'm going to fuck the bird.
This is someone with at least implied enough personhood where I feel like it's not bestiality.
Very humanoid.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's furry. It's furry stuff.
Sure.
They still call it furry when it's feathers?
Yeah.
Okay, well then it's furry stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it's furry stuff, I won't kink shame.
No.
I won't be high-fiving you across from the other side of the Eiffel Tower, but, it's fine. Just to give you an idea, we're just looking at pictures of Birdie the early bird on Google Maps right now.
If you want the immersive experience, just Google image shirt McDonald's bird and just kind of stare at the whole page. A couple seconds.
She's not my type, but I can see it.
Yeah. Well, she's not my type either, but it's more of just it's like it's climbing that mountain. It's not about wanting to fuck that. It's about the opportunity.
Well, what I always think is funny is
if you have the chance to fuck that and don't, you're gonna regret it the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Kind of what it is.
Yeah. You ever? I always thought it was funny the way men will talk about I so would. They would say that about a girl.
Yeah,
and it's just like. No, I didn't. I didn't think you wouldn't.
Right.
So you're talking about some celebrity, like, oh, I'd hit that. I'm like,
yeah,
I figured you would.
It's like you're talking about I don't know,
you tell me, oh, I would totally hit that. I'm just like, no, she didn't offer.
It's like.
I figured.
Yeah, it's like yeah, you're right, because when they're like oh, I would, the implication is I could.
Right,
and I will.
Right, the implication is this is an option being presented to me.
Yeah,
which frankly maybe I've been watching too much BreadTube recently, but I feel like it has dark implications about male entitlement or whatever. Just the fact that the initial phrasing is "I would have sex with her," as if it is already been implied that the offer is on the table.
Well, me and the early bird have been texting for a while.
Oh,
actually.
Yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So
we've been talking. Thanks, everybody.
We should delete this. I feel like it's not fair to share that about her. Then I feel a little uncomfortable.
Thanks everybody for listening to Life in the World to Come.
I feel like this is a
fun one.
Thank you for listeing.
Thanks everybody.
Did we answer? What was the question? Oh, McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't really answer. But
I am going to have sex with the early bird. The answer. Right there in the middle of the Pentagon for all to see. I will fuck the early bird. It is inevitable.
That's a good. I feel like if we were more efficient podcasters,
right,
the question would be, what's going to happen to the Pentagon, the McDonald's in the Pentagon? And you would simply say, I'm going to fuck Birdie the early bird on the table of the McDonald's in the Pentagon.
Right, for all to see.
But that is
for
the
world
answer.
To see.
Yeah, we could have gotten that a little bit quicker. I'm sorry.
Quicker, and maybe in the edit we will.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens.
Oh man. All right.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for being patient with us during our little break.
We are not promising that we're back.
No, we're not. No, it'll probably be a little bit before the next one.
Yeah.
But, we're gonna do. We'll do these when we feel like it.
I think that's good. If I don't. That's definitely not promise a schedule.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not going to promise a schedule under any circumstances.
Plus, I'm also about to go on tour pretty soon anyway, so it's I'm pretty busy. But
and I'm spending half my time in Vermont, so
yeah.
scheduling is complicated right now. But
Yeah.
we'll, listen, if 420 lands on a funny holiday,
Duh.
of course we're gonna make an episode.
Yeah, no, of course. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
When? I don't know. Fucking,
Right.
if you care about that kind of thing, it's kind of.
We're just gonna pop out for like 5 minutes to buy cigarettes. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We'll be right
Don't
back.
you worry, sport. We'll be right back. We're just gonna buy a couple of cigarettes and then we'll be right back.
Yep. Just help yourself to whatever's in the fridge, and don't tell your mom I was here.
No.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy Easter.
Oh yeah, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
421,
Thank you, and
Passover
happy
those
all
things.
that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Look at this man. Look at this woman with a diamond ring in her hand.
Hey everybody, it's Chris coming in with a quick, tasteful post credits plug because I forgot to plug stuff when we were actually recording the episode, and I need to plug stuff because it was just tax season and I would like to have money. My book is still available on Amazon if you haven't bought it yet. It's part one of whatever the fuck you want to call Revelator is still out. You can get the physical copy of it on Amazon still. I think the link is in my Instagram bio for that. Revelator Part 1, Little Gods. Working on Part 2 still. It's going good. You can get some of those chapters early on Patreon. And yeah, fuck it. By the time this comes up, I'll have a new Revelator t-shirt on the store. I've the design that I've been holding on to for a while because I wanted to release it at a good time. And yeah, fuck it. 420 is a good time as any. So get that t-shirt also. Anything else? Buy my book, buy the t-shirt. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around. It's been good to talk to you guys again. And yeah. I'm gonna take a little nap. Happy 420. Bye. Bye shit from me.